Good evening, Eagles fans, and welcome to the ultimate NFL rundown right here from the heart of Philadelphia. Can you believe it? The Eagles are 3-0 to kick off the 2025 season, soaring high as the reigning Super Bowl champs. But hold up, former NFL legend Drew Brees just dropped a bombshell, calling Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense, wait for it, boring. That's right, folks, boring. So, is Philly's run-heavy attack snooze-worthy? Or is it a winning formula that's got the NFL shaking in their cleats? Let's dive into the action and break it all down. First, let's talk about the spark that lit this fire. On ESPN's First Take, Drew Brees, the future Hall of Fame quarterback who lit up scoreboards with the New Orleans Saints, didn't hold back. He said, and I quote, "I respect Philly, they're winning games, but I can't stand to watch that offense. It's the most boring offense." Ouch! That's a hot take that's got Philly fans buzzing from South Street to the steps of the Art Museum. But is there truth to Brees' shade? Or is this just a case of a passer pining for more aerial fireworks? Let's unpack it. The Eagles' offense, led by quarterback Jalen Hurts and orchestrated by offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo, has leaned hard into a ground-and-pound strategy. Through the first 3 games of 2025, the numbers tell the story. 99 rushing attempts compared to just 77 passes. That's right. Philly's run the ball like it's 1980s football, and it's paying off with a perfect record. Hurts himself has been a one-man wrecking crew on the ground, leading the league with 3 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. But the passing game? Well, let's just say it's been quieter than a Philly cheesesteak stand at midnight. Week 1 saw Hurts throw for 152 yards, and Week 2 dipped to a mere 101 yards with 0 passing touchdowns. For a team with weapons like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, that's raised some eyebrows. Now, let's zoom in on A.J. Brown, the Eagles' star wide receiver who's been vocal about wanting more action. In the first 2 games, Brown was targeted just 9 times, hauling in 6 catches for a measly 35 yards. Compare that to his first 2 seasons in Philly, where he racked up over 1,450 yards each year. And you can feel the frustration. Brown didn't mince words, telling the Philadelphia Inquirer, "I truly believe we got so many good players on this team, and at times it can feel like we're being conservative. I think it should be to let your killers do their thing and play fast and aggressive." You hear that, Eagles Nation? AJ's ready to let it fly. But hold on. Week 3 against the Los Angeles Rams showed a different side of this offense. Trailing early, the Eagles flipped the switch, storming back for a thrilling 33-26 victory. Brown exploded for 6 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown, reminding everyone why he's one of the NFL's elite receivers. It's that ability to adapt, to go from grinded out to high octane, that makes this Eagles team so dangerous. They did it in Super Bowl 59. Stunning the Kansas City Chiefs with a late-game surge, and they did it again against the Rams. Boring? Maybe sometimes. Effective? Absolutely. Let's bring in some expert perspective here. Former Colts center Jeff Saturday, speaking on ESPN's Get Up, pushed back on Brees' critique. He argued that Philly's offense is more than just a running machine. Sidney slants and checks down Charlie, and all of a sudden, we just act. We're airing it out, Saturday said. He pointed out that the Eagles' passing game averages 159.7 yards per game in 2025, while their rushing attack churns out 122 yards on those 99 carries. And let's not forget the infamous tush-push, the Eagles' signature short yardage play that is unstoppable as a SEPTA bus barreling down Broad Street. Love it or hate it, that play has piled up points and kept defenses guessing. Now, let's put this in historical context. The Eagles have always been a team that thrives on grit, heart, and a little bit of swagger. Think back to the 2017 season, when Nick Foles led Philly to their first ever Super Bowl win against Tom Brady's Patriots in a 41-33 thriller. That team, coached by Doug Peterson, wasn't afraid to mix it up, running, passing, and even pulling off the Philly special, one of the gutsiest trick plays in Super Bowl history. Fast forward to 2025, and head coach Nick Sirianni is channeling that same Philly toughness. Sirianni's squad is built to dominate in the trenches, with an offensive line anchored by legends like Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. This isn't just a team, it's a brotherhood that bleeds green. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts for a moment. The 27-year-old quarterback, drafted in 2020 out of Oklahoma, has become the heartbeat of this team. His dual-threat ability, rushing for touchdowns while still capable of slinging it, makes him a nightmare for defenses. Sure, his passing stats this season aren't lighting up the box score, but don't sleep on him. Hurts has shown he can air out when it counts, like in that Super Bowl 59 masterpiece where he connected with Devonta Smith for a game-changing 40-yard touchdown. And let's not forget Saquon Barkley, the running back who's been a revelation since joining Philly. Last season, Barkley racked up over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 45 touchdowns, numbers that would make even Eagles legend LaShawn McCoy nod in approval. Together, Hurts and Barkley form a backfield that's as dynamic as any in the NFL. But what about the critics who call this offense predictable? To get a sense of the pulse in Philly, let's imagine what some key voices might say. Picture this. We're outside Lincoln Financial Field, and I'm chatting with longtime Eagles fan Tony South Philly Russo. Boring? Man, Drew Brees needs to come to the game at the Link. Tony says, his voice rising with a chant of, "Fly, Eagles, fly." This team fights, they grind, they win. I don't care if it's a 1-yard tush push or a 50-yard bomb to A.J. Brown. When we score, this city shakes. And how about Coach Sirianni? If we caught up with him, he might grin and say, "Boring? Tell that to our 3-0 record. We play to win, not to entertain pundits." Our guys are ready to run through a wall for each other. Statistically, the Eagles are holding their own. Their 159.7 passing yards per game ranked them in the middle of the NFL pack, but their 122 rushing yards per game put them among the league's best. Compare that to the 2022 season, when Philly reached the Super Bowl with a balanced attack. Hurts threw for 3,701 yards and 22 touchdowns, while rushing for 760 yards and 13 scores. This year's run-heavy approach might be a strategic choice, preserving Hurts' arm for the playoff push while leaning on Barkley's legs and that dominant O-line. And let's not forget the defense, led by Hasten Reddick and Fletcher Cox's successor, Jalen Carter. This unit is allowing just 17.3 points per game, second best in the NFC East behind only the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of the NFC East, this division is a bloodbath every year. The Eagles' rivals, the Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders, are always gunning for them. Remember the 2006 season when Jeff Garcia led Philly to a division title over Dallas? Or the 2019 season when Carson once outdueled Dak Prescott to clinch a playoff spot? The Eagles thrive in these high-stakes battles, and with a 3-0 start, they're sending a message to Dallas and New York. Catch us if you can. But the schedule doesn't get easier. Up next, they face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that's been a thorn in Philly's side since that 2021 playoff loss. Can the Eagles keep their undefeated streak alive? Let's talk tactics for a second. Kevin Patullo's run-first scheme is built on controlling the clock and wearing down defenses. The tush-push, where Hurts sneaks behind his massive offensive line for a near-guaranteed yard, is the ultimate expression of that philosophy. It's not flashy, but it's effective. Think of it like a perfectly executed Philly pretzel. Simple, satisfying, and uniquely ours. But as A.J. Brown hinted, there's untapped potential in this passing game. Devonta Smith, the 2020 Heisman Trophy winner, has the speed to burn cornerbacks, while tight end Dallas Goedert is a matchup nightmare. If Patullo can balance a run and pass, this offense will go from boring to downright explosive. Looking ahead, the big question is sustainability. Can the Eagles keep winning with this conservative approach, or will they need to open up the playbook as the season progresses? NFL analyst Sarah Jenkins, a fictional expert we've conjured up, weighs in. The Eagles are playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. They're saving their big plays for December and January, when the games matter most. But if A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith don't get more targets, you risk losing momentum and maybe locker room chemistry. It's a fair point. The Eagles' ability to flip the switch, as we saw in Week 3, will be critical as they face stiffer competition like the San Francisco 49ers or the Kansas City Chiefs in a potential Super Bowl rematch. Let's sprinkle in some Eagles trivia to keep the vibe high. Did you know the Eagles fight song, Sweet Caroline Rival Fly Eagles Fly, was first sung at the Link in 2003? or that Lincoln Financial Field's infamous 700 level was once home to a jail cell for rowdy fans. Philly fans are a breed apart, and their passion fuels this team. From the days of Reggie White sacking quarterbacks to Brian Dawkins' bone-crunching hits, the Eagles have always been about heart. And in 2025, that heart is beating stronger than ever. So, what's the verdict on Drew Brees' boring jab? Sure, the Eagles' offense might not be racking up fantasy football points, but they're winning games. And isn't that the Philly way? Whether it's the tush-push, Saquon Barkley breaking tackles, or A.J. Brown hauling in a deep ball, this team knows how to get it done. As they head into Week 4, all eyes are on Jalen Hurts. Can he silence the critics and show the NFL that this offense is anything but boring? Eagles Nation, it's time to get loud. The birds are flying high, and the road to another Super Bowl runs through Philly. Grab your green gear, head to the link, or tune in this Sunday to see the Eagles can keep their undefeated streak alive against Tampa Bay. And don't forget to follow us for all the latest NFL action, from breaking news to in-depth analysis. Fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this is your NFL Insider signing off.